If you want to be successful, if you want to be rich, if you want to live the life that you want to live, you have to get very comfortable and actually truly embrace loving your haters, because you will get haters no matter what. When you stand up for the life that you live, you will no longer fit into the low vibration that most people in the world are sending out, and that will make people more uncomfortable with you. But you want your dream life, right? So you have to push through and be comfortable and even love the people that hate you. And why do you need to love the people that hate you? That's a great question. A lot of people will tell you that you need to ignore your haters. If you get a hate comment on your social medias, you should just delete it. And there are definitely good reasons for doing all of those things. But the more power and the higher your frequency goes, the more people will feel resentful towards you because you went for what you wanted instead of accepting how things are. And a lot of people do not want to go on a higher level, and they don't want to accept how things are either. So they gaslight themselves into believing that you're doing something wrong. They try to find all of these flaws with you and they try to pull you down. But actually, them trying to pull you down is one of the greatest lessons and trials you will go through as someone who's leveling up their life. And no, haters and negative people are not good. But it's important to understand this. When your frequency moves from here till here, you can still kind of hear the people down here. It's kind of like when you're climbing up a cliff and you haven't climbed that far yet, and you can still hear the people on the ground screaming to you that it's a bad idea and you shouldn't move on and you shouldn't do anything more, and they're not sure you can make it. You have to get past the threshold of not being able to hear them anymore in order for you to get to the top of the mountain, aka raise your frequency even more. And what does that have to do with you loving your haters? Well, when you're climbing into your dream life and your dream consciousness and becoming the version of yourself that you truly want to be, you go from a lower frequency into a higher frequency that people are a little more scared of, and they start shouting at you and you can still hear them. But in order for you to get to the frequency up here where you do not care and it does not matter anymore, you have to push through and beyond those voices. So in reality, the people that are shouting at you and screaming at you that you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that are here to push you to the next level. They're actually a blessing, because without them screaming at you and without them triggering something within you, you wouldn't need to react. You wouldn't need to either climb down to listen to them and then they would affirm to you, oh, you couldn't climb that mountain, or climb more uphill where suddenly you can't hear them anymore. The sweet spot in the middle where you can still hear them, but you're still ascending, that's when your haters matter the most. Because the thing is, the higher you get, the more people will hate on you, but the further you will be away from the ground. So the harder it will be for them to actually get to you. But when you're just ascending, when you're just trying to create your dream life and starting out, it is so important that you see the people that want you to fail, or your haters, as a karmic and universal spiritual lesson. It is the universe's way of testing out whether you are ready to step in to your new life and your new mentality. Whatever it is you dream about having, it exists out there. If you dream about it, it wants to be revealed. But it cannot be revealed. It cannot come into existence unless your body and who you are now is ready to reveal it. The same way that you cannot give a first grader a high school diploma because he's not on that level yet. He's not prepared for that high school diploma. That is exactly what happens when you want a desire. Now you have to prepare for it. And the same way that the high school student has to go through tests in order to be able to get the diploma, you also need to go through tests to see if you actually know what you're doing, if you're actually ready for what you truly want. And the universe has been throwing you these tests your whole life. I know for a fact I've been through so many tests, and when I'm looking back at them, I'm like, wow, I love that I went through this test. I would have never become me if I didn't do this test. One of the things I went through when I was back in high school was that I went through a whole friend group breakup. I had a huge friend group that I used to hang out with for many, many years. And then suddenly, a couple of my best friends in that group, something happened between us. And suddenly, I wasn't really a part of that friend group anymore. And I thought it had something to do with me and I was terrible. I knew for a fact that all of the other people in the group still said hi to me in the school halls. I was literally devastated. I couldn't understand why this was happening. But at the same time, I was also working for myself as a 17-year-old. Most of my friends in the friend group had their little jobs outside of school, but I worked for myself. And I had a lot of opportunities and a lot of obligations. I actually had less time to actually hang out with them than usual. So it's not like I didn't have anything to do, but I still felt so empty and like it was a big band-aid that was ripped off when suddenly the energy just completely shifted. I cried so much, but today I know that that was a lesson. That negativity was something I had to face in order to prove that I was ready to step in to my higher self. And right after that friend group breakup, the work that I was doing started taking off exponentially. I got so many new opportunities, and I wouldn't have had any time to be with this friend group anyways. I knew with myself that I wanted to work for myself at that time, but I didn't know that that was what I had to go through in order for me to actually get to the point where I needed to go. I felt like they hated me. And I could definitely tell right before the friend group breakup that there was some tension about the fact that I had a lot of stuff going on. Because I had to cancel a lot of the time. I had to spend more time on my own because I wanted myself to succeed. And the funny thing is, it is actually usually the people that are closest to you that are your biggest haters. Because they know what you've gone through when you were younger. They know the resistance that you've had. Maybe they've even created that resistance. And now they see you prospering despite that. So the way that they try to tear you down is by trying to remind you of who you were. A lot of people will say, well, this is not you. This isn't who you are. Wow, that's different from who you are. Are you sure you want that? They're basically the little person standing at the foot of the hill shouting at you while you're climbing that they don't think this is you. They want you to doubt yourself so that you lower yourself to their frequency and give in to them talking negatively about you. You do not owe them doing that. Never. Not even your family members. Especially not your family members. But when it comes to the process of you leveling up, it is extremely important that you do love your haters instead of resenting them. Because resentment only brings a negative frequency. And if you're climbing up the hill and you feel resentment towards the people that are shouting at you from the hill, you're naturally lowering yourself. You're literally telling the universe that you are not ready to handle the opportunity and the growth that the universe is trying to hand you. Because resentment is a negative emotion. And as soon as you send out negative frequencies, you are going to attract more negative frequencies. The universe can only ever give you more of what already exists. So the way for you to actually come out stronger on the other side when it comes to your haters or people that hate you, it is for you to embrace it and accept it and say that you love it. Whenever a hard situation comes into your life, and I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but it does work. Whenever a hard situation comes into your life, you need to say, I love this, give me more. When you say, I love this, give me more, you're not saying give me more haters. You're not saying that you condone their behavior. No. You're saying that you are so far above that, your frequency is so high that you just see that as a minor little thing and that you're ready to get even more opportunities. Is that all you're gonna throw me? Those haters, those people that have resentment towards me? You can give me more. Now you go from being the effect to being the cause. You are the one who controls your destiny because you understand that whatever situation, hard emotions, bad people the universe throws in there for you, they're only here to test you to see if you can actually handle the life that you want. Because remember, the further up you go, the more distance there is between you and your frequency, and the more people will become uncomfortable with you. You naturally will get more haters the more successful and the higher your frequency goes. And the only way you can achieve the life that you truly want is for you to heighten your frequency. And as your frequency grows, your energy also reaches further. Your influence becomes bigger. If you're the prettiest girl in a little small town, there will be people that think you're too pretty in that small town. And then when you move to a bigger city, there'll be more people that think you're too pretty. Maybe you get casted by a modeling agency and you start walking catwalks and you build yourself an Instagram following. Now you will have even more people looking at you. But during all of this, you are also moving upwards. You are raising your frequency. Maybe eventually you end up becoming a movie star or having a lot of followers. There will be people that resent you because you went for what you wanted, and not necessarily went for what you wanted. You were just a pretty girl who took the opportunities that were granted towards you, and you didn't let the people in your small town tell you that you couldn't do it. So the more your frequency grows and the more you grow, the more haters you will naturally get. Which is why it is extremely important that you love them. If you have resentment towards them, if you hate them, the universe is going to send you many more and much closer to you, because the universe wants you to excel, and it knows the only way for you to become the better version of yourself is for you to go through hardships, is for you to go through tests. So it's going to send you the haters to see if you are ready to go through that test. And if you are hating them, and if you're resentful towards them, and if you wallow too much in what they say about you, then the universe sees that you're not ready to pass that test yet. So it's going to wait a little while. It's going to let you stay at the same level, and then it's going to throw you the test again. And then you can either react or act. You can either react by saying, oh, I hate these people. The world is against me. Everyone's terrible. Look, when you want to become successful, people hate on you. And then you send out more negative vibes and the universe can see, you're not ready. Or you can act. You can take responsibility, aka you have an ability to respond. And with that responsibility, you can respond differently to the situation. In the beginning, when you feel these negative forces and frequencies coming at you, people that hate you, family members that don't like that you're becoming a better version of yourself, narcissistic ex-boyfriends that suddenly text you, it is going to be hard for you to sit down and say, I love it, give me more. But it is a muscle you have to train. When you sit down and you say, I love it, give me more, when your nervous system is all heated up and you're essentially triggered, it's going to feel completely contradictory. Because why would you say you love it when it makes you feel like this? But the fact that it makes you feel like that, so tight in your chest, so triggered, wanting to react, wanting to go out and do something right now, that's when you need to react the least. That's when you need to act. That's when you need to respond. Because you have the ability to respond. You just need to train it. And when you respond with, I love it, give me more, I love it, give me more, I love it, give me more, you're actually fueling yourself with positive frequencies. And when you focus on positive frequencies, your body is incapable of sending out negative frequencies. And now you have redirected your frequency. You have redirected your pattern. So instead of you feeding into the negativity and you lowering your frequency to get on other people's level because they're triggering you, you are not consenting to let yourself be triggered, and you're saying, I love it, give me more. You're telling the universe or God or the creator or Morgan Freeman that you're ready for more. You're ready for more responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. Shout out Spider-Man. The more powerful you become by raising your frequency, the more you will have to respond. Remember, responsibility is response ability. The ability to respond. The more power you have, the bigger your ability to respond in a specific way has to be. the more important it is that you do not freak out and you do not let whatever it is people say bring you down to their level. Because that's when you let go of your power, the power you've built for yourself. You have put so much effort into heightening yourself and making yourself a better version of yourself. If you lower yourself to people's level, you are saying that you do not find it sacred, that you put so much effort into yourself. And the universe wants to trigger you, because that's the universe's way of telling you something you need to work on. When bad things, bad people, bad situations, bad vibes in general come into your life, that is the universe's way of telling you that you need to work on something. So if you get extremely triggered when someone tells you, oh, you're not that hot, you'll never be successful, are you sure you're not doing too much? That's because you need to work on that. You need to work on your comfortability with being seen. And the way for you to get comfortable with being seen is for you to embrace being seen even by people that are going to judge you. Maybe the universe sends you a narcissistic person. Now it's time for you to take your response ability and put it into action. And instead of you reacting, you are acting. You say, oh, you sent me this narcissistic person. I love it. Give me more. And then you sit with it within yourself, you calm your nervous system down, and then from then on, you work on your attachment styles, maybe. You work on your victim complex. Reality is, when you say, I love it, give me more, you're actually just saying, I love the fact that you are showing me the things that I need to work on. When you say, I love it, give me more, you're not communicating with the people. You're not saying to them, you should give me more hate. You're saying to the creator, you're saying to the universe, to God, whatever you want to believe in, that you love how it's giving you the lessons it needs to give you, that you love how it's looking out for you and it wants the best for you, that you love that it's trying to expand your vessel and make you a better version of yourself. You love that. Of course you should love that. You're becoming a better version of yourself. That is so cool. That is so amazing. You should love that. And when you're saying to the creator or the universe or God or whatever it is you want to believe in, that you love it, give me more, you're saying that whatever's going on down here, the low frequency people that do not want to tap into their higher self, they don't matter. The only approval you need is the one from the higher. The only approval you need is from the universe. When you say, I love it, give me more, you're saying whatever it is people that are just hating or mad or resentful or hate their lives say, it doesn't matter. I don't need their validation. I don't need them to tell me whatever's up and what's down. I have the validation of the universe. And I only need the validation of the universe. Essentially, what you're saying is that you're becoming unfazed. In order for you to achieve your dream life, you need to be unfazed. You need to become like the universe. You need to become unfazed by small things. The universe is so abundant. There are galaxies, there are Milky Ways, there are stars. Things are abundant, unknown, ever expanding, and wonderful. That's exactly how you need to act. If you've ever seen one of those videos where they zoom out from Earth and then you see the whole solar system, then you see the Milky Way, then you see a bunch of stars, and then it zooms out and zooms out and zooms out. It just shows how little all of those people that are trying to whisper to you that you can't do whatever it is you need to do, how little they matter. In the grand scheme of the universe, of the infinite energy out there, why would you need their validation? Why would you need them to tell you how things are going and you're doing it wrong or whatever? You have the universe's approval. The universe is trying to do everything in its power to make sure that things are moving your way. The universe wants everything for you. When you have an idea, when you have a dream, that means that dream exists. So why would you have to care about what those teeny tiny little people on Earth think about you when the whole universe wants to give you approval, when the whole universe wants to level you up? The negative people's frequency is down here. Your frequency is moving up. You can still hear them, but you need to get closer to the universe's frequency, which means you need to get comfortable with hearing those negative voices and then saying, I'm beyond that. I love it. Give me more. Isn't it so great that I get to elevate myself? Your haters don't love themselves enough to not hate on other people. But if you love them enough to realize that it's only the universe's validation that you need, then your power will grow infinitely. You are beyond what is down here. You need to love your haters because they make it clear that you are becoming more powerful and you are becoming like the universe. So say this: I love it, give me more.